Freedom of speech, the Vietnam War era continued. So in the Vietnam War era, there was a time, place, and manner test in evaluating the regulations of symbolic expression. The Supreme Court looks primarily at whether the regulation suppresses the content of the message or simply regulates the accompanying conduct. So the basic question is the government suppressing what was being said or the time, place, or manner in which it was expressed? Time, place, and manner regulations must be tested against four criteria. Number one, the restriction cannot suppress the content. That was determined in the U.S. Supreme Court case Tinker versus Des Moines, which we're going to discuss briefly later. Number two, the restriction must serve a significant government interest. That's like U.S. versus O'Brien. Please ignore the 7, it's there, I do apologize. And all these numberings, I'm doing sorry on the left, I can't get rid of those. Number three, the restriction must be narrowly tailored. It must be specific and targeted. Number four, there must be adequate alternative ways of expression. So these are the four set of criteria in the time, place, and manner regulations where the Supreme Court evaluates symbolic expression and maybe a regulation that decreases or limits that symbolic expression. So a landmark Supreme Court case and a required Supreme Court case for the AP test is Tinker versus Des Moines Independent Community School District. It was in 1969. In December of 1965, Mary Beth Tinker, her brother John Tinker, and a friend Christopher and others organized a protest of the U.S. conflict in Vietnam. They planned to wear black armbands to school. The school administrators learned of the plan and predicted it would become a distraction in the learning environment. Students were instructed to remove the armbands when they arrived on campus. They refused and were suspended until willing to return without wearing the armbands. So the decision will be on the next slide, plus there'll be a video for you to watch on this. This is a Vietnam War, it's a symbolic speech, freedom of speech. Was the school district allowed to suspend them, or was this a limit on their freedom of speech? This is symbolic speech. It's black armbands. It's protesting the Vietnam War. Was the school allowed to do this or not? And we'll find out on the next slide.